So, there was this dream that I actually had recently. I think it was like 2 nights ago. And it really stuck with me. And I kind of want to talk about it. I always have had like super vivid dreams growing up. Um, Ever since I was little, like even in the orphanage. Um, but this dream just like really struck me just because I've been going through a lot, like moving to a new city, and um, I've started kind of piecing my past together in writing, um, and I'm really starting to talk about what it was like growing up for me, and my experiences in Russia. And I think it unlocked something in my brain, and my subconscious brought it to the surface through dream. I think that's my theory. Um, so from what I can remember from the dream was long, but I don't remember everything about it. But the most important two scenes was in my bedroom, and that was the start of the dream, or closer to the start of the dream. It took place in this like apartment, like this big house that I would say it was like a communal home with like a bunch of people my age. Um, and I don't even remember who the characters were. I just remember specific scenes, and that me and my communal friends were together and kind of investigating, I would say. But it starts off with me in my bedroom with the lights fully on, and I had just woken up. So I'm waking up with in a dream, I guess. And so I wake up from a dream. The lights are all completely on. My bed is next to a wall, much like in my current bedroom, except instead of it being on the left side of the wall, it's on the right side of the wall. And it's facing towards the door instead of away from the door. And I was sleeping up against the wall, and I have a full-size bed in this dream, much like in reality. But when I wake up, there's this giant snake coiled up. It's a black, gray, and white snake. It's kind of like what you would see on copperheads. Like that was the pattern. But it had a diamond, well, most venomous snakes have a diamond head. But what was fascinating is the snake had a pointy nose like this, kind of like one of the green corn African snakes that are not venomous, by the way. And I don't remember, though, if it had diamond-shaped eyes or not, because that would also indicate that it's a venomous snake. But that's not the important part. It didn't freak me out, actually, that it was a venomous snake. Like I didn't even register or process it in the dream because I had just woken up and I was a little bit disoriented, and I sit up in bed. And that's when I notice it, is when I sit up in bed. But the snake, I would say, was about 5'5" in length. But it was odd because the head was massive. I'd say the head was about this big. And then the torso was about this big, that narrowed out to a tiny, tiny tip tail. And then the neck, it would narrow out into a thin neck, into a massive head, which felt like it didn't really fit proportionally to the body. And then, but the stomach wasn't engorged as if it had just eaten something. It like narrowed out perfectly. So it's not like you could see the shape of something it had just eaten. And it was coiled up on the left bottom side of my bed in a relaxed state until I sat up. and I made eye contact with the snake, and my first thought was, oh fuck, I scared it. Which is such a fascinating thing to think about, because normally when people see a snake, they just get scared. I mean, I did get scared, but it was interesting that that was my first thought within the dream, was, oh shoot, I frightened it. And then it turned around, looked at me, hissed, and launched itself at me. And then that was it. There was no bite. It just disappeared, like in thin air. I don't know where it went. I leap out of bed. I run out of my bedroom, and I'm panicking because I'm like, oh my gosh, my clothes are in my bedroom, but I can't get back into my bedroom because there's a giant snake there. And I don't know what to do, so I'm consulting my roommates and trying to make it so that I can get to work on time. So I call my manager, and she's like, hey, it's okay, it's fine, like do what you can to get to work, which is such a weird response because I feel like that's not what most managers would do, and definitely not what my management would do. But then a lot passes in the dream, and I don't remember what it is. But eventually me and my roommates, we go to a restaurant, and the restaurant is kind of like an outdoor patio vibe with a deck that has like these wooden planks at the bottom, obviously. But I remember at some point I had noticed something was off and started prying up the planks, and we find a body under the planks. And I'm not freaked out about it, but that's it. That's when I wake up, is when we discover or reveal that there is a body under the floorboards or the plank boards. And I just thought that that was so fascinating. But I think with so much that has been going on in life, like snakes often in many cultures are revered as symbolic in a way that they are seen as wise. They can also be seen as like symbolism of shedding new skin, or I think it's also about, I don't know, in the context of the dream though, I feel like with the snake and the dead body, it's almost like I'm shedding so much of myself this year, you know, and I'm bringing curiosity, I'm following the trail, you know, and seeing the dead body uncovered is almost like something is happening in my subconscious, you know, and I think in a way it's revealing that there's something hidden that I'm getting close to discovering within my subconscious. And with me doing all the digging up from my past, I think I'm starting to make certain realizations that I hadn't made before. And so now I'm figuring out how to piece all the pieces together, kind of like a puzzle. And things are now surfacing to my subconscious. And in my dream world, my subconscious is, I feel like, trying to tell me something. So stay tuned. I can't wait to see what this dream means, because I feel like something is definitely surfacing, but I'll keep you guys tuned.